Good afternoon, everyone. Happy 3rd of July, leading up to 4th of July tomorrow, where we are going to be doing a live stream on the fireworks spectacular. I'm excited for you all to participate in that live stream. That stream will begin at around 8:45 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. But in the meantime, we're keeping an eye on the weather across the United States as we have more severe weather coming with more heat waves back west. Now, before we get talking about the United States, I thought this would be so cool to share with you all with the marine layer, the fog deck that is spreading onshore across the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge, across this is looking to the south off of Mount Tamalpais in the North Bay, and you can see that nice fog stratus building in this afternoon, and that layer is actually deepening. In fact, if we kind of look back at this, we can see how much shallower the fog is. You can make out Sutro Tower over here in San Francisco. Half Moon Bay is over here with the fog pouring over the mountains over there. And then down here is like Sausalito area. And look at that fog. It's just moving onshore. Not only that, the layer is deepening. The fog bank, that is, it's getting thicker and deeper, and that helps to pull in a lot of that cooler air to help cool off the inland valleys. So that's a time lapse. I'm going to show you one more time lapse that I think you all will like, but look at the contrast there. That marine layer really getting deeper. Here's another look at that marine layer. This is out off the Oakland Hills looking to the west. There's Mount Tamalpais right there, what we were viewing just earlier. And you can see the fog coming in this way towards the camera. Take note how much deeper that fog bank is, that inversion, what we call the marine layer. And at times it even hits the camera, and you can see some of the trees there moving about, which means our marine layer is about 16 to 1700 feet deep. And why that matters is when it's deeper, that means the inversion, that means our warmer air loft is not as intense, which what we saw yesterday and what we saw the days past, that has led us to seeing some of these very hot temperatures. But you can see that fog there really burning off nicely off the hills, and underneath it there is Oakland, Richmond, and San Pablo Bay off in the distance. So what a beautiful looking view here from the Oakland Hills at about 1,400 feet. Now, on a satellite perspective, we can see just how extensive the fog actually is. And yeah, look at this, northerly flow here coming down across Northern California. And then we get this, what we call a Catalina eddy. This is not really a Catalina eddy, but this is what we call the Bodega Bay eddy, because Bodega Bay is up over here, and we can see these eddies that form. And so this actually helps to deepen the marine layer and usher it onshore to help cool our Bay Area spots. Then the Central Valley, which has been baking at over 107, 110 degrees the last couple of days. And so with the marine layer in sight, it's right now only 91 degrees at around 11 degrees cooler than it was here yesterday. I mean, that's a big drop in temperatures. And the reason why, again, is if we look at our Fort Ord profiler, we can see that the marine layer is deepening. You can see it right in here. Take note, this is the latest. The marine layers in purple and blue, and the redder and oranger colors are where our hotter air is. Only 27 Celsius, but yesterday it went for 34 Celsius at around 30,000 feet, which is very, very warm. And so just kind of keeping you all up to date with my weather locally at home, and why I haven't been streaming is just because of how hot it has been here in the office. And right now in the office, it is 91 degrees, but at this time yesterday, it was like 97, 98 degrees. So it's cool enough for me to make a video, but as you can see, I'm probably sweating quite a bit right now. Not trying to show that in the video, but just letting you know, it's going to be hot for the next couple of days here, but we're trending downward, so you might see less of me sweating on camera. So without further ado, let's take a look at our 48 states of weather, including Canada, where we do have other weather pattern changes coming. In Canada, quite a bit of rain strong winds, helping to knock those wildfires down, though, because of moisture up there. But we do have severe weather up here in the upper portion of the United States, the northern portion, the northern Rockies. We got some severe weather down here across the lower 48, including the northeast. But notice the west here, no monsoons, nor very extreme hot temperatures like we had yesterday. Now, if you go to Death Valley, it's going to be about 124 today. Yeah, that's where you'll find the extreme heat otherwise. But let's go forward in time, and we can see how the pattern is not really going to change much in the Midwest here. We're looking at a weather system that is going to be draping across the central high plains into the northern portion there of the U.S., including the Great Lakes. This is going to trigger severe weather, and there is enhanced risk days of severe weather, including flight risk days ahead for Thursday into Friday. So if we backtrack this, I forgot to give you your 4th of July forecast, my bad. We can see here showers and thunderstorms for your 4th of July fireworks. That's why I'll be streaming. So if it's rained out for you, come on down and watch my stream. I will be at one of the churches looking off towards Lodi Lake like we did last year, which was really awesome. Showers and thunderstorms, soggy conditions across the deep south for your 4th of July. But again, if you're going out west, it should be perfect for the fireworks festivities for Independence Day. And then now fast forwarding it all the way to Friday, more shower chances over the high plains for this week. And then going forward, another weather system wants to pass through, and this again could renew the chances for strong showers and thunderstorms. Maybe another severe weather alert day for Missouri, for Illinois, and even for Iowa as that disturbance moves off towards the easterly direction. And this continues all the way through Sunday next week for July the 9th, with more rain chances across the southeast, the eastern seaboard, the northeast, with more rain chances returning across the Dakotas, including for Nebraska. So now, as far as your temperatures go, again, what we've talked about, it has been a scorcher. Temperatures at or above 110 degrees across the Sacramento Valley, Red Bluff, Redding. We even got to 111 in Redding on Saturday. So it was a very hot day there. Fresno got about 109 on Saturday, 108 yesterday, but still, today going to be a hot day, probably about 105, 107 there. In the desert Southwest, very hot for this time of the year, including for Phoenix, Arizona, Death Valley. Like I said, 125 degrees today. Might be a little cooler, but either way, 120 plus there is a guarantee for Death Valley. For southern portion of Nevada, really hot weather for your 3rd of July. Now for your 4th of July, tomorrow, it is going to be hot, but hopefully not as hot, especially in the California region where temperatures are going to be in the 80s and 90s. Woohoo! Go light some fireworks tomorrow night. Make sure you make sure you do them legally instead of illegally. We don't want people getting tickets, blowing off their hands, or doing stupid stuff, right? Make sure you take the cool weather seriously as far as keeping your hands and fingers in kind of together without them blowing off, right? So we can see the four corners here across the desert Southwest. Temperatures right around 100 to 105 degrees for your 4th of July. So a scorcher there to do any firework lighting off in the evening hours. And then the Midwest, the Deep South, it's going to be muggy. It's going to be hot. Just keep in mind, and some warm weather here for the lower 48, including for the southeast. So warm weather returns, or has been kind of the case for a while over over much of the Midwest. But cooler weather is coming. Take a look at this. Who likes 70s and 60s up across the northern tier of the United States, while temperatures are down here right around 100 degrees in the 90s for the Deep South, where it's been hot so far this season. You haven't had much of a break, haven't you? And then that continues all the way into Thursday and then into Friday. Some really warm temperatures do persist out there for Arizona and New Mexico. Now, your temperature anomaly forecast, again, it's going to be cooler than average. It's going to be cooler than average here for the northern tier of the United States, including for the central U.S. We're going to be looking at warmer than normal conditions for the northeast. In fact, if we go and look at our daily average forecast You can see some cooler weather over Canada, over the northern tier. That's going to feel great. Who likes a cold weather? I'm sure you all do. But warmer than average here, 5 to 10 degrees above normal for Texas. For New Mexico, cooler than average. Finally, I can say finally because we've had a pretty big heat wave, and temperatures will likely be about 5 to 10 degrees below normal, and then across the Northeast and portions of the Pacific Northwest where we're going to have some ridging. It's going to be above average temperatures unless you're right along the coast, and that continues all the way through the following weekend into the second week of July. So now, what are we going to see as far as our jet stream forecast? Let's take a look at the 500 millibar wind chart here from the Euro model. And yeah, we can see that this ridge that has been responsible. Let's go back here. This ridge right here across the west has been responsible for that scorching heat wave that has brought excessive heat warnings yesterday and days prior. That ridge is flattening as we get a trough of low pressure, and we can see it right in here, large-scale trough that is going to be kind of impinging across Northern California, Nevada, the northern deserts here, the northern Rockies. It's going to help bring down temperatures just slightly as this ridge right out here across the desert southwest flattens out nicely. And then that continues with another trough by the end of the week, as you can see here over California, helping to bring down temperatures nicely with this ridge still over the desert southwest. Another short wave here, as I have marked out here on the screen. And yeah, the pattern stays with us like that all the way through next weekend, July 8th, 9th, and the 10th. Well, anyways, if you did like today's detailed weather discussion, please consider subscribing if you haven't already. Please also check out my live stream tomorrow. We are going to be doing 4th of July fireworks spectacular. Okay, you don't want to miss that. It's an annual thing that I've been doing over the last few years on the channel to celebrate Independence Day and why it's important. So join me tomorrow at about 8:45 at night, maybe even 8:30. Okay, about 8:30, we'll be doing some live streaming for at least a couple of hours. Some hangout time with David Schlotthauer here. But otherwise, share, like, subscribe to this video if you enjoyed it very much. And I'll be back with you more tomorrow with a live stream on 4th of July fireworks.